What I find most rewarding about my work is working with people, with communities, rather than studying them. Feminist research for me is engaged research. It's about listening, building trust, and taking responsibility for how knowledge is produced. I chose this path as a political science student in Istanbul, where questions of conflict, violence, and inequality were not abstract. And as a woman, I was particularly drawn to understanding gender-based violence and women's experiences of war. I wanted my research to do more than just explaining the world. I wanted my work to contribute, even in small ways, to challenging injustice and supporting social transformation. My name is Tutku Ayhan. I'm a postdoctoral fellow here at IBEI. I study how women live with the aftermath of war, especially female survivors of conflict-related sexual violence. When we hear about sexual violence in war, we often focus on the moment of violence itself. And my research asks a different question: what happens after? How women are treated by their communities, by their families, by the institutions once the war is over. Through long-term fieldwork with Yazidi community in Iraq and Rohingya community in Bangladesh, I found that survivors' lives do not follow a single story of either stigma or empowerment. Instead, women often navigate several realities at the same time. They may be publicly accepted but privately stigmatized, supported by one family member, rejected by another, or encouraged to be resilient while still carrying heavy social burdens. A key finding of my work is that community responses matter as much as the violence itself. How a community interprets sexual violence can either open or close possibilities for healing, belonging, or agency. And this means that supporting survivors is not only about individual trauma care, but it's also about transforming the social and political environment around them. I also reflect critically on how we do ethical research in these settings. Sometimes the most ethical choice is not to talk to survivors directly, but to listen carefully to community members, activists, and support workers, and to always prioritize protection and well-being of our research participants over data collection.